You ever stand there, in front of a locked gate, listening to someone scream at you like you're a villain in their little suburban drama? I have. I can still hear the fury in Karen's voice, like she was about to start breathing fire. Her face red, hands shaking, telling me I had no right to lock that road, that I had 7 days to do the right thing, or her precious HOA would take me to court. Wild, right? Threats flying like confetti, as if the world owed her a shortcut, and the law was just a matter of how loud you shout. You'd think after decades of owning land, or at least growing up with people who did, I'd be used to folks with power trying to push you around. But nothing really prepares you for the first time someone tells you flat out that your property, your family's property, is actually theirs because they need it to be. And you? Well, you're just standing in the way. But let me back up a bit so you really get how deep this rabbit hole goes. Maybe you're listening to this in your car or walking the dog. Doesn't matter. Just picture it. Me, standing on 78 acres of overgrown fields and woods, land my Uncle Ray left me after he passed. I'd only just closed the estate. March, still cold, birds not quite back for spring. The plan was simple. Weekends out here, some hunting, maybe a little cabin someday. Nothing fancy. Just peace, the kind that's hard to buy these days. Thing is, I didn't realize how much that kind of peace pisses some people off. Because right next to my land, there's this sprawling HOA subdivision, Meadowbrook Estates. Imagine 300 identical houses with perfect lawns, mailboxes all the same color, people measuring grass with rulers, reporting each other for trash cans left out past noon. You know the type. Their property line runs right up against mine, just a sagging old wire fence and some survey stakes separating my patch of woods from their world of manicured order. Uncle Ray always told the developer no when they wanted his land. Didn't want suburbia swallowing up his trees and his quiet. And the developer just built around him, left his 78 acres as a stubborn greenhole in their grand plans. You'd think that'd be enough, but no. The drama all comes down to a single gravel road, old, rutted, barely holding itself together. It runs along my side of the line, all the way to the county road up north. For years, Ray let a few Meadowbrook folks use it as a shortcut. It was just neighborly, not some grand legal thing. No paperwork, no deals. Just a nod, a wave, yeah, go ahead. That's it. I didn't know any of this the first time I walked the land. Just wanted to see what I'd gotten. And then a silver Lexus pulls up, heels crunching on gravel. Out steps Karen Westfield, president of the HOA, hair like a helmet, smile like she's sizing you up for a suit you'll never afford. She shakes my hand, hands me a glossy brochure, and starts laying out the expectations. Like, here's how you'll keep your property up to our standards. I tell her, politely, this isn't her HOA. She laughs, this short, humorless bark. Tells me since I'm next door, I'm expected to play ball. I shrug. She tries again. The road, our residents use it. You'll need to keep it clean and open. And again I say it's my road on my land. Karen's smile gets thinner, voice sharper. But your uncle allowed it. And I say, well, I didn't. She invites me to the HOA office to get on the same page. I decline. That's when her mask drops for real. She spins on her heel, gets back in her car, and I watch the dust as she leaves. That night, I double-check every scrap of paper. Deed, survey, title report. All crystal clear, my land. Not in the HOA, no easements, no agreements, no nothing. So next weekend, I bring out signs. Private property, no trespassing, every 100 feet along the line. At both ends of the gravel road, big clear warnings. Then I install a steel gate, heavy as hell, chain and padlock, right near the county road. Locked it, took pictures, and went home. 3 days later, Karen calls. This time her voice is all fire and ice. Tells me I have 7 days to open the gate or the HOA is coming for me. I delete the message. 2 days after that, she shows up again, waving a formal violation notice at me. For what, I ask. For blocking community access. I tell her again, it's my road, and she has no say. She snaps. We've used it for over 10 years. That's a prescriptive easement. I laugh. Couldn't help it. Not in North Carolina. I say, you need 20 years, and my uncle let you use it. Permissive use doesn't count. Karen's face goes dark. You're making a mistake. We have attorneys, and we'll fight you. I tell her, your residents should have gotten it in writing. And she storms off, tires spitting gravel. Now, here's where it turns from annoying to outright crazy. My neighbor Ed stops by, leans against his truck, hands me a cup of coffee, grinning like he's watching a slow-motion car wreck. You pissed off Karen, he says. Welcome to the club. Turns out, this isn't about shortcuts for joggers and soccer moms. It's about Karen's big expansion plan, a $20 million Phase 2 for Meadowbrook. 50 new homes, clubhouses, pools, all that. Only problem, the land they want is boxed in by wetlands, Ed's farm, and my woods. The only real road in or out. Mine, the one I just locked. So Karen, who's also got $85,000 of personal profit riding on her house value if the expansion happens, gambled on being able to force her way through. A few days later, I get a letter from a law firm. 6 pages, all bluster and legalese. Demands I take the gate down, claims prescriptive easement, easement by necessity, public interest. Basically, they want me to believe the county's going to side with them because it'll bring in more tax money. I scan it, send it to Patricia, my lawyer, who's about as tough as old boot leather. She calls me back. They're bluffing. None of these claims hold water. Don't back down. She fires off a reply. No easement, no right, no deal. Any further trespass, we sue for harassment. You'd think that would be the end, but no. Karen takes it to Facebook, rallies the troops. Suddenly, my phone's blowing up with screenshots from Ed. There's an emergency HOA meeting, wild accusations that I'm costing the community millions, destroying property values, blocking affordable housing. Next thing, people start hopping my fence, leaving nasty notes, trying to cut my lock. I file police reports. Deputies warn a couple of folks, but Karen whips the whole neighborhood into a frenzy. They cut my lock. I put on a new one, stronger, heavier. They cut that too, with an angle grinder this time. Trash starts piling up along the road. Fast food wrappers, beer cans, even a broken lawn chair. I double up the trail cameras, get video of SUVs driving around the gate, people literally climbing over the fence like it's a playground. It's relentless. Karen even starts a petition online, spins the story as if I'm blocking affordable housing and hurting the local economy. Hundreds of signatures from people who have no clue. She even gets the county involved, code enforcement, environmental health, planning, and zoning. They show up, poke around, find nothing. Even the inspectors are embarrassed. It's all harassment, pure and simple. It gets uglier. Local news, county commissioners, even more pressure. Karen's telling everyone I'm a greedy land hoarder, that I'm pressing charges against families just for taking a shortcut. She's not telling them about her own financial interest, not telling them about the expansion's real price tag, or how she never asked me for anything, just assumed, pushed, threatened. My lawyer files a lawsuit, restraining order, damages for the cut locks, the trespass, the whole smear campaign. Now the gloves are off. Karen's lawyer calls, wants to negotiate, offers to pay for access. I tell him, not interested. You realize this is going to court? He says. Yep, I say. And I'll win. The day of reckoning comes, sooner than you'd think. Karen stages a media circus at the gate. News crews, county officials, the whole 9 yards. She's telling everyone I'm blocking affordable housing, hurting families. I walk up, call her out, say right on camera, this isn't affordable housing. These are $1.45 million luxury homes, and the road is mine. Reporter looks at Karen. Is that true? She starts stammering. The The county commissioner won't commit. And for the first time, Karen realizes her bluff is falling apart. Then the HOA sues me. They want the court to force me to open the road, grant an easement, and pay $500,000 in damages. Patricia files a countersuit: trespassing, harassment, defamation, attempted extortion, you name it. The best part? Discovery. We subpoena HOA emails, board records, financial documents. Turns out Karen's been plotting this for years, telling residents to use the road, encouraging trespassing, building a case for a prescriptive easement. There are emails where she flat out says, the more we use the road, the better our legal position. At her deposition, Patricia nails her. Did you ever ask for permission? Karen squirms. We assumed he'd cooperate. You never asked? No. You planned a $20 million expansion and never asked the owner for access? Karen doesn't answer. Then Patricia drops the bomb. Text from Karen telling residents to go around the gate. Keep using the road. Take photos. The more we use it, the stronger our legal case. Game over. The cherry on top? Trail camera footage. One morning at 6:22 a.m., Karen herself, bolt cutters in hand, cuts my lock, drives through, leaves the gate open. We played in court. The day of the hearing, the courtroom's packed. HOA folks on one side, a few locals, and Ed on the other. Karen walks in, head high, thinking she's about to win. Patricia presents everything: deed, title, emails, footage of Karen breaking the lock. Judge Aldridge, not a man known for patience, asks Karen one question. Did you ask for permission before planning your expansion? She fumbles, tries to spin it. The judge isn't having it. You don't have a right to someone else's property. The law is clear. He rules. Case dismissed. Gate stays locked. $12,000 in damages from Karen. $18,500 from the HOA in legal fees. Restraining order granted. Karen's face, when the gavel comes down, tells the whole story. White as chalk, eyes blank. Her reign is over. Residents are furious. Emergency HOA meeting. Vote to remove her as president passes 187-34. She's done. She tries to fight back. Ethics complaints, empty threats to sue her own neighbors. Nothing sticks. The developer pulls out. Expansion dead. Her house, the one she banked on for a big profit, goes on the market. She sells at a loss, packs up, and disappears. What's left? A locked gate, a quiet piece of land, a lesson for everyone who thinks power and entitlement trump the law. Over time, a few Meadowbrook folks reach out, respectful, asking for hunting or hiking access. I grant it case by case, always in writing, always revocable. The kind of neighbors Uncle Ray would have approved of. I stand by that gate sometimes, especially at sunset, hand on the steel, looking out over the woods. Karen's gone. The harassment, the threats, the drama, they're all over. The 78 acres are still here. Still mine. They always were. And if you're listening to this, wondering where you draw the line, how far you go to defend what's yours, or when someone else's needs start to override your rights, well, I got a question for you. If 100 people want what's yours, does that make it theirs? Is the greater good just another word for taking without asking? Let me know what you think. Ever had to stand your ground against someone who thought the rules didn't apply to them? Ever watch karma show up and sit down for coffee? Because I have. And trust me, sometimes the only thing standing between justice and chaos is a locked gate, a deed, and a little bit of stubbornness.